obviously I was catching parts of what you were saying, and I think the reality is I very much do believe that you find what you're looking for.
The level of complaining is unacceptable. Look, what if I told you this was the last Monday morning of your life? What if I told you die this week? Would you complain about your crap job or that test you don't want to take? I doubt it. You would go much higher level thinking. Well, that's really what it takes. It takes understanding that if you're not pumped right now, if you're not looking forward to it, look, I respect practicality. You gotta go through school because your parents want to. You gotta pay your rent. You got student loans, I get it. But please recognize the world we're living in. We're living in a world where there's so much more opportunity. This internet thing created way more opportunity for all of us. Way more. I mean, look, I just don't get the mentality of being head down sad on a Monday morning. I'm gonna make Monday morning my bitch. I'm gonna make you Saturday Monday morning. That's what I wanna do every morning, and that's what I want from you. Please, take a step back and think about how awesome it actually is. And then recognize that you can attack the world in a totally different way. You were lucky enough to be born during this era.
The level of complaining about the Monday to Friday grind is unacceptable. Live each and every day like it may be the last day you are alive. Elevate your thinking and start doing something to make your life better. If you aren't happy with where you are, seek out the opportunities that are everywhere and make the change that you want. Take a step back and recognize each day for what it is, and allow yourself to attack the world in a totally different way. Practice practical positivity. If you find yourself currently living in a negative situation, then reevaluate who you are spending your time with and how. It can be hard to eliminate people from your life, but in the end, it can help make you into a more positive person. Surround yourself with less negative people and see your world change. Use compassion and empathy. You can be successful and may have what it takes to get there, but don't forget that experience matters. If you don't have experience, make it yourself. The person hosting the party is the person who has all the leverage. Take charge and start gaining the knowledge you need to be great. You can't make yourself be something that you cannot be, but what you can do is work harder and do more. Spend less time doing things that don't matter and hustle with things that can actually make a difference. No one in business is ever undefeated. Learn to accept the failures as they come. Get back up and push forward.
For me, it's practical positivity, right? So for me, where this conversation goes is like, for a lot of people, they could be sitting here and be like, well, it's easy for you to say. Like, people go immediately to your current, right? And, I just don't see it that way. I really genuinely believe that it's a complete game of who you spend time with and what's pumping into your ears. And so that has led me down a path of really trying to have conversations with people around limiting time with negativity. And sometimes that's hard because a lot of times that might be your mother and father or your best friend for the last 30 years. But I've been fascinated by people changing just by changing who they spend time with and what they listen to. It is, that saying is so real. Like, you got to really look around who you're spending time with. It is unbelievable to me watching employees in my company spend time in certain divisions and then get transferred. I mean, if they get transferred to my team, it's a complete brain twist of work ethic and mindset and things of that nature. But even different teams with positive leaders, like, you can just see it. And I think you can talk all day long about like, hey, be happier or see it better. And then people walk out of a theater and you're like, how? But what's interesting is the word that really resonated to me in the back was compassion and empathy. And look, I walked into my dad's single store liquor store and took it from a $3 to a $60 million business as a 22-year-old to 28 years old, so I had it. But to stand here this morning in front of you, it's crazy to me how much experience matters. I thought I was great, and I'm still that same person. I have those raw talents, but I have the great fortune of 20 years of experience and the great fortune of listening to the community and the comments and the feedback. The person that hosts the party has the leverage. If you start the St. Louis Business Podcast Show, and then you spend 5 hours DMing, emailing, and reaching out to all the other business owners in St. Louis and inviting them to be on your podcast named the St. Louis Business Podcast, you, by just taking the initiative, have flipped the leverage and now will have much bigger business owners than you interested in being on your podcast. I want to give them practical advice. And hustle's the only thing. I can't tell people become more talented. Like, you're not, like, hey, become smart. Like, smarter was good. That was good advice. But that's not good advice anymore because information's on our hand. Like, memorizing information is not good advice anymore. What do you want to know? So that's not good. What is controllable? Work 3 hours more a day. Like, now work 3 hours more a day if you're sitting at home and complaining. If you're not happy with your life, if you're pumped, if you make $1 million a year or $50,000 a year, if you see your kids every day, if you never see your kids, if you go to tons of ball games, if you've never watched sports, however you roll, if you're pumped, if you're watching right now and you're pumped, if you sit at home right now and you're watching this on a small screen on your laptop and you're not pumped, the one thing that I know everybody can do is watch a little less of House of Cards, is go to the bar a couple less times with their buddies, it's play a couple less games on your, that is why I'm obsessed with hustle, because it's the one variable that everybody can control that can change the outcome of their life. If you're putting on an entrepreneurial jersey, it's kind of like UFC. Like, nobody's gonna go undefeated.
Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe for more content.